Selflessness. What do you think about when you hear the word selflessness? You may think of the word selfishness, but in fact, selflessness is directly the opposite of selfishness. Selflessness is putting someone else's needs and wants above yours. It's the opposite of being selfish. I have a story to tell you. Airman First Class William Pitsenbarger was a pararescue trooper, so he propelled down helicopters in Vietnam, and he was doing this. He propelled down from his helicopter to assist wounded troops in the jungle, and his helicopter got hit, and so had to return to base without him. Nevertheless, he continued to help his fellow soldiers, and he kept tending to the wounded over and over, and eventually they started taking heavy fire, and he fought ruthlessly. He kept helping his brothers, and even though he was hit once, twice, 3 times, he didn't stop to help himself. He kept going to other soldiers and helping them and trying to aid them. And eventually his wounds took his life, and he was posthumously, I hope I'm not butchering that, awarded the Medal of Honor. So that's when you're awarded something after death. So he got the Medal of Honor after he had died, but I think the thing that's interesting about this, he wasn't in the Air Force for that long. He was a Airman First Class, which isn't necessarily a high rank, but like he got the Medal of Honor, which is like extremely rare. So I don't know. I think it's just a testament to how, I don't want to say low status, because obviously he wasn't a low status person, but people that may not be as recognized can still have a huge impact. I think it's important to realize that. So I don't think that we value selflessness as much as we should, because I don't think generosity is valued as much as it should be anymore. And it's important to be selfless because, well, we're commanded to do it. In the Bible, God tells us to help our neighbors, to love our enemies, and to be generous. It's literally something that we're called to do, supposed to do, but society doesn't tell us to do it as much as it used to. And another reason, being selfless, you'll get a lot of blessings from it. Being selfless, well, not only will it benefit others tremendously, but it'll also benefit you tremendously. And not just that, God's going to reward you. He will, but you're going to begin to enjoy it. And it doesn't have to be, going to war and dying, helping your fellow soldiers. It could just be mowing someone's lawn for them, an elderly person's lawn, without asking for pay, or unloading all the groceries out of your mom's car even when she didn't ask you to. Just doing something and not asking for anything in return. Doing a good deed and not asking for anything in return. Even if you're not getting paid or you're not getting told thank you, karma's gonna come back and it's gonna reward you eventually. Whether you want to say karma or God, whatever you want to say, it's gonna come back on you, because what goes around comes around, comes back to you. And it's true. And I think as leaders, as men who should be ultimately willing to die for their families, like as a man, you should be willing to die for your woman. You should be willing to die for your children. If you're willing to die for your family, you should at least be willing to help somebody, not ask for anything in return, or just be a generous man. It's baked into the fiber of our being. It's who we were made to be. If you're a man, selflessness, it's not just in your blood, it's in your DNA. It's in your mind. It's in the fiber of who you are supposed to be. But society is telling you to reject it. Not directly. No one's going around saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be generous. You shouldn't," but except for the people that do. But it's not as valued as it should be. And I believe this world would be a whole lot better if we were more selfless and we were more generous. So give in order that you will receive. And when you receive something, be thankful and always be willing to give. No sacrifice, no victory.